I think that when it comes to anxiety, we have to really exercise new skills or learn to practice new skills so that we can literally rid of the word anxiousness or even kind of be anxious with everything. It's almost like, so this passing conversation, I'm anxiety about this and I'm anxiety about this.
Right.
I don't believe there should be room in language for, I try not to use the word anxiety unless I really need to. And when it is, it's because it really is. And so I think it's important for us to make sure that we protect the language that we use as couples. Huge.
Yeah.
And that's a skill. All it is awareness and an intentional change of a new language. And so Ryan and I have a common language, and there's language that we don't allow, we don't use towards each other, and also there's language that we invite. And it also is that as we grow, we are evolving in the language that we're using and we're not using as we continue to grow. The point I'm saying is that it's important that we understand the language that we're using with each other and with ourselves, which goes to my point, is that I think anxiety is produced sometimes with the conversations we're having in our head. We live and die in our head.
Yeah.
And we make up stories in our head. And we criticize, assume, and everything in our head. I used to say I dated a lot of guys in my head and I broke up with in my head. And that's about as far as it got.
That's probably many women's situation.
And I cried a lot, even though I never dated them. I just dated them in my head. But it's amazing, I think, our mind is powerful.
Yeah.
And I'm discovering this right now later on in my life, where I'm realizing, wow, all these years I have been crippled by my emotion because I had no idea the strength and the capacity and the power that my mind had in leading my life, my emotions, my psychology, everything. So I think it would do a great service for every couple to study the mind, to study the subconscious mind, to study how it works, because then you really unite your language when you understand sort of where the paradigms are maybe causing some havoc.
Right.
So, number one, I think the conversations we are having with ourselves, observe it. Like, what would be a conversation that you think women have with ourselves, with that, that are causing anxiousness?
Well, there could be an automatic assumption that they're not going to be interested in doing this new project with me, or I really want to go for the promotion at work or launching a new business, taking it to the next level, but it's going to require a lot of commitment and time, and they're not going to be supportive.
Okay, so here's a skill set here.
Yeah.
Okay, so skill number one I'm observing in this conversation is that we need to know how to sell our ideas, period. Every woman needs sales skills. What do I mean by that? Which means that we need to know when to deliver, how to deliver our ideas, and to persuade people or our fiance for ideas, not for manipulation and never for manipulation, but to say, listen, sweetie, I am so excited to tell you that of this dream that I have. Now, before you say anything, give me the freedom to share with you my dream without fail. I say that. It's a skill.
It's a script,
It's
too.
a script,
it's a
exactly.
great script we need to be learning and practicing.
Yes, and we need to learn that script, but also the invitation is that we teach our fiance how to have that script, where we're all already prefacing and saying, listen, I just need, give me 2 minutes permission to dream, and I cannot fail in my dream. Remember that? But if you're reading the same books and you're studying the mind, oh yeah, you're right, it's just a dream. And I say this with Ryan. I said, Ryan, I'm going to dream right now for 2 minutes, and can you give me permission? And I don't want you to calculate it.
Exactly. I think that's the biggest thing is when we share something in our heart or we share a dream, we don't want the analytical mind to kick
Correct.
in and say, well, how's that going to happen? It won't happen. That's not the energy we want at that moment.
But that's the skill.
Right.
The skill of persuasion, the skill of sales skill, but also the skill of learning when the timing is right.
Yeah.
So it's not possible if we don't have the right skills.